The Trump administration says it is deeply concerned that Iran has imprisoned thousands of citizens for engaging in peaceful protests. A White House statement released today says we will not remain silent as the Iranian dictatorship represses the basic rights of its citizens and will hold Iran's leaders accountable for any violations. The administration is also pushing for the release of all political prisoners in Iran. The statement comes as it appears the U.S. may be on the brink of denying 100 Iranian Christians and other religious minorities entry into this country, according to the Washington Free Beacon, sending them back to Iran. Joining me now, Nina Shea, the director of the Center for Religious Freedom at the Hudson Institute. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, it seems like for now, at least what we can tell from the outside, these protests in Iran have died down, but now there are people jailed because of their role with it. We've seen family members lining up there at Evin Prison, which we know is a terrible place. What do you think becomes of them? I mean, the U.S. is speaking out, but there's only so much we can do.
Well, I think that we need to be collecting their names and using those names as we did with the Soviet dissidents during the Cold War. We keep their names alive, helps them to stay alive, and also to really broadcast and let the American people know, let the world know the brave heroism of these people who did risk their lives to protest for freedom. It was far deeper, Shannon, than economic grievances. They were really taking on the clerical rule and the tyranny of that theocracy. They were calling basically for religious freedom, and they were doing offenses that could give them the death penalty, that is blasphemy. And the women played a very big role, and they have been protesting and will continue to protest in a quiet way on the social media by expressing their freedom of dress, by taking off their headscarves and showing their faces.
Meantime, we have this other case I know that you're monitoring of about 100 Christians, other religious minorities with them as well, who left Iran under a program. They were invited by the U.S. into Austria. Many of them sold their businesses, their homes, every possession they had to get there to Austria. And now, at the tail end of the Obama administration, for some reason, some of these folks made it in, but there are about 100 of them that were blocked, and they're kind of left in limbo. We understand some of these Iranian Christians are now living in homeless shelters in Austria because they can't seem to get into the U.S. Now they fear they're going to be sent back to Iran, which some people say for them would essentially be a death sentence.
Yes, it would be a death sentence, or could be a death sentence. It's they've suffered persecution as religious minorities. This is a Shiite theocracy. These people, the Christians, they're Baha'is. They're overwhelmingly Christian, this group of 100 or so. Some are Baha'is, and some may be other religions, minorities like Jews or others. To put them back into Iran in any circumstances would be dangerous for them, but to do it in the midst of a human rights crackdown would just be disastrous. And they've been there for a year, and as you said, they were invited in by the United States into Vienna. This is under the Lautenberg Amendment. This was an amendment that was devised to bring in Jews from the former Soviet Union about 27 years ago. And now it's been expanded to Iran for Christians and other minorities. And so this is very unusual. 99% of the cases in the past have gotten in. I've spoken to the relocation agency, the highest group, that Jewish group that works with these people to prepare them to come to the United States. And they have relatives here. So it really doesn't make sense. I have not heard anything. I've been in contact with the administration as well. They will not say anything to me either about what is going on.
Yeah, the State Department said they couldn't comment on any specific case. They said the safety and well-being of Americans is their priority, but they are aware of this case. So we'll continue to monitor it. We know you will as well, and try to get some answers about what's happening to these folks. Nina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your insights.